is that there's three core fundamentals that people are interested in. I mean, so Genius, you know, any crypto or token has to know its audience really well in order to reach that audience. So we have to know our audience really well and hyper focus on that audience's, wants. And a lot of this is something that, I've personally wanted and have wanted for at least 12 years that I've been in this crypto world. And so, well, how do you make, I mean, this is for people who want trustless passive income, trustless as in it's decentralized. They don't have to get on the phone with someone because something's not working. It's just, it's in front of them and they're in full control of it. They don't have to trust another human being. But passive income. Genius gives you passive, genius, just like with Bitcoin mining. And the fundamentals to do that are, you have to have ways to, well, first of all, you have to get the supply out there, right? You have to get the supply out there in a way that isn't favoritism and a fair access for people to get that supply. The second thing you do need is you need an increase of demand. There has to be demand there in the first place. And the third thing is, if supply is too great, you do need ways to decrease that supply, decreasing that supply in a way that makes sense. Because as we've seen, just willy-nilly decreasing supply doesn't work. So as I said, you got to be able to increase the supply fairly. That's number one. Number two, increase demand. It's number two on the list, but also a very number one concern. And ways to decrease that supply. These are the three fundamentals that Genius hyper focuses on and strategizes to do properly. Now, one of the last things that Digital Diogenes, Zach here, mentioned is, our stability pool. But before you can really understand the stability pool, you got to understand, what is it like to use Genius? Well, to use Genius, to use that, first of all, you acquire some Genius, but you acquire it, your use for it is to create a miner with it. And that miner will pay you Genius. So a miner can kind of be used I'm using metaphors here, but you can think of it as a savings account, for something in the future. You can think of it as a long-term retirement account. That's how I intend to use Genius. But here you create this miner, and when you create a miner, you create it with the software, right? This isn't like Bitcoin mining where you have to, you need sysops knowledge, or once needed sysops knowledge. You're using you're using a lot of electricity, running a lot of hot machines. This is, when you create a miner with Genius, you declare an amount of Genius that you're going to lock up, and you tell the system how long you're going to lock that up for. And the length of time that you lock it up for is going to give you much more of a bonus. And then what your miner then gets created based on how much you're locking up and how long. And then from there, every single day, that miner has a certain share of the daily reward pool, and it gets paid every day, that daily share of that reward pool.
And that's how the stability pool is born, right?
So then next, with those fundamentals, so the stability pool incentivizes, because people got to get your Genius somewhere. So you get it from a decentralized exchange, or somebody gives it to you as a gift, right? Or you work for it, etc. With the stability pool incentivizes users or even traders to deposit collateral to back Genius. So you could say Genius is backed by US dollar. You could use that metaphor even, or will be backed by US dollar. We'll see. But with the stability pool, it incentivizes users to deposit collateral, and they receive a miner in return, a miner that will generate Genius for them. So think of it like you can lock up your DAI or your US dollar coin and receive Genius rewards for locking that up.
Okay, makes sense. And okay, so I suppose, Robert, what I want to touch on really quick is the differences here. Gabriel just said in the chat, so this basically works like hex plus pools. And I know that Marshmallow and I have had this conversation in private, but I just want to hear how you explain the answer to this question. Is this hex plus pools? I mean, what else is different here that is making you guys, have more benefits, a better system than what hex has provided?
I think I've had this question a lot, and I think it's better to talk about what similarities there are, because there are an incredible number of differences and there are a very small number of similarities. The biggest similarities with Genius and Hex is that Genius and Hex both weigh your time, use your time as a factor, as a strong factor and a strong weight into your rewards payout. And that's it.